All right. So let me get into some other fights that's going to be happening. Ennis versus Stanionis. I think
Yeah,
we might have talked about this. Let me make sure that all repeats. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we have. So Stanionis, Ennis. All right. It's happened. Ennis was able to get a fight
yeah.
where it's not some guy as a mandatory on a repeat. It's not some random guy that no one's ever heard of. It is for Unified and Ring Magazine. Number one, number two is what many people perceive in the welterweight division. How do you see that fight plays out and why?
The kid, what's his name? Stanos.
Stanionis.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Stanionis. He's rough. He's tough. He come forward. I think that he just get hit a little too much for my liking. He just get hit a little bit too much clean for my liking. And I think when you fight somebody like Gerard Ennis, that's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be a good fight. Um, I think Gerard Ennis need to focus on his defense more and not get caught because that kid do come hard and anything can happen. Um, you can get hit with a good shot and find yourself on the canvas. I think Gerard Ennis needs to tighten up his defense, and he do that. I see it being a good fight for him. You know, what I mean, tailor made for Gerard Ennis. But if he slack, he can make it a tough night for him. If he slack on his defense, he can make it a tough night for himself. But I think, which I believe he will. He's a phenomenal fighter, and I think he tightened up his defense. I think it's a good night for him. I think the kid uh
Stanionis.
yeah, stay on this is tailor made for him. You know what I'm saying?
When you were fighting up the rankings, did you ever fight like you were fighting in the IBF rankings when you were super
Yeah,
middleweight?
yeah.
They never forced like a rehydration 10-pound next day. Did you have to do that at any point of your rank
No,
ups? No.
no.
So I know that Duran's going to be fighting him in unification, which will eliminate the 10-pound rehydration, requirement that only if you have the IBF you're mandated to do. So
Yeah.
how much is that also going to play a factor that Duran won't have to do the 10-pound next day rehydration? You think it's
Oh, I
going to
think.
play a lot?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Like when you can rehydrate to the weight you feel comfortable at, it helps you more mentally. It helps you more mentally. Like you're like, okay, cool. I'm put my foot on the gas because I'm myself. I'm myself. You know what I'm saying? You feel like yourself. And yeah, yes, I absolutely. I think that's gonna help tremendously.
Is you think it's going to be in a way where because he's been heavily criticized for those two performances, well, with Karen, right? One that
Yeah, yeah,
they felt that
yep,
Karen wasn't engaging, and then the second, in that sense, it was very competitive to a point where, he
yeah,
got hit a lot. And even I
yeah.
think the David Avanesian, which Duran is using him as a sparring partner for this camp as
You're
well.
right. Good. That's
Um,
smart.
but there was kind of moments in there, Duran kind of put a little bit of saying, hey, I was inactive, maybe a
Yeah.
little rusty. But saying all that, his performances hasn't been as impressive since the Villa fight, right? When he
Yeah.
was kind of like
Yeah.
doing the slow motion and stuff. Do you think that because of that 10-pound rehydration that's no longer going to be required, and we're going to now see him because he's a big guy for welterweight, and I know we spoke
And
about guys as big.
he's huge.
Is he going to look kind of like you mentioned earlier? Is this going to kind of be Floyd Gotti, Crawford Spence-esque potentially? Because, or it's just, nah, that 10 pounds not going to turn him into Superman. You know that.
Uh, like it's tough, man, because it's tough because dryness is really good, man. It's tough. I think that him not having to do the rehydration thing, I think that's gonna play a part. But I think it probably make him stronger. You know what I'm saying? So with that style that Stayonis got with coming forward like that and taking shots, you know, and him not having to worry about rehydrating, he can do it. And he can rehydrate to where would he feel comfortable at. Yeah, I think it'll probably be an early night. I think it'd be an early night.
With all things being said, if he gets past that, because I know that you felt that when we spoke before, there was like a low ball offer sent for Brian Norman
Brian
throughout all
Newman, yeah.
that. And I know that Brian gets past his fight, Jerron gets, everyone's value goes up, right? I know
Yeah.
that probably Jerron, at that case, if he's unified, they do really well at Atlantic City.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a little bit more, hey, I
Right.
earn more. But if he beats Stanionis, does that kind of like clear cut, Jerron is the best guy, or does he still need to see Brian Norman? Does he still need to see Mario Barrios?
I mean, Gerard Ennis is the best guy. Like those guys are, listen, those guys are good fighters. But honestly, I don't want to see him fight Mario Barrios. I think that's I don't want to see him fight Mario Barrios. I think Mario Barrios got a lot of miles on him, and his last performance, I think Gerard Ennis destroys him. I don't think he needs this. I don't think him beating Mario Barrios solidifies him being the best. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he can fight Brian Newman. Brian Newman's a tough competitor. You know what I'm saying? He's tough and he gonna bring it. So I would love to see that fight more. You know what I'm saying? I think he get past this and Brian Newman. I think, you know, but Mario Barrios, I think that's more of come on. I mean, come on. I mean, maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't know what everybody else is looking at, but I
I
think he
just
just
gotta ask, man. And you
yeah, yeah,
entering
yeah.
unk status the way you butchering these names, man.
No,
Brian Norman.
I know, no, I'm not butchering. I'm just
No, I'm just
like
messing with you.
I was saying,
Norman. I was saying Norman.
yeah, you were saying Norman. I was
No,
yeah.
it's Brian Norman. That's how I think you said
Oh,
Newman.
I thought it was Newman.
Norman.
Oh, it's
Maybe that's
Brian Norman. Okay.
yeah. Maybe it's
Yeah,
your accent. I don't know.
yeah. Brian Norman. I would love to see him fight Brian Norman. I think that's a tough fight. You know, Brian Norman's one of them guys that people really don't know, and people really because boxing for most boxing fans know nothing about boxing. They talk off emotion. They don't really know what they're looking at. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying. So, but with that kind of style he got, um, I would just love to see the fight. Not saying he would win, not saying he would lose. I just want to see the fight with him and Gerard in this. I would just love to see that.
Um,
I think he would give Gerard Ennis a better fight than people expected.
they sparred like 100 times according
Yeah,
to what?
I would,
So
and Brian Norman gonna be in shape. He gonna be in shape. He gonna be in shape. So I would love to. Kid got a big heart too. I would love to see that fight.
awesome.